Metaphor ReFantazio, one of my most anticipated games of this year, but especially this month, is finally out, and I am happy to say this game is looking like an extreme success across the board, both from YouTubers who are reviewing this game as well as from the game journalism sites. Everybody is coming together to basically say this is one of, if not the best RPG of the year. And before we dive into the video, we just hit 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and liking my content. If you are new to the channel and you like gaming news and like gaming reviews and you like what you see in this video, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Now let's get into the video. Thanks, guys. So first off, if you haven't heard about this game, this is a very similar experience to something like Persona 3, 4, and 5 made by the same creators. It is a turn-based RPG with a little twist on the turn-based formula. And the first thing that you're going to notice if you are looking at footage or you've watched a video on this game or you have played the game for yourself is the art style. It looks like a mix between like a watercolor painting, a picture with anime inspired elements all put together to be one of, if not the most beautiful and cool and unique art style I have seen in gaming to date. And while there are a lot of games that have a very phenomenal art style, this game extends the art style to the UI as well. So from start to finish, while you're playing this game, you feel completely immersed not only in the world, but also in the characters and the experience you have just navigating the menus, man. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the combat, because if the combat is not good in a video game that emphasizes combat as one of its main core gameplay loops, then it's going to completely sour your experience as a whole, especially if you prioritize combat over some other RPG elements, specifically in your games that you're playing. And in this game, I'm happy to say it is a very, very unique and awesome combat system. And it actually blends a little bit of action combat with turn-based mechanics as well. There's a lot of trash enemies and just weak enemies you can take out completely using the action combat. And then you can also use the action combat to stun enemies and get an advantage when moving and turning into the turn-based mode. The director really said he wanted to make this game feel like a movie and a manga at once, and it genuinely does. And on top of this, with the turn-based mechanics, you have an attack, you have a guard, you can use items, you have your different archetypes, and on top of all of this, there's something called formations in this game where you can move ranged units further away within your formation, have your kind of tankier units up in the front lines to take and absorb a lot of the damage, and mastering this is really going to help you when you're fighting some of the more challenging enemies, which are genuinely sometimes very challenging even in the normal mode of the game. And all of this that's great about the game so far is not even to mention the story and the different characters that you're going to experience and group with while you're going through this game, and the different villains and enemies, etc. All of it combines to be so damn cool. And although I am not done with the story and I don't want to spoil anything from what I have played so far, what I have played has been very intriguing and very good up to the point that I am at. I really like the different characters' motivations. Some are inspired by hope, some are inspired by tragedy, and you're going to have to build the connections with the different characters to really get everything out of them within this game. And all of this comes together and is perfected by something that they do really well in this game specifically, which is the music.
That might be of use later. There they are. Come on, cat!
The music makes you so much more immersed into the world, so much more immersed into the stories, and any big event happening in the game, you have this beautiful orchestrated music in the back, brought to you by Shoji Meguro, I think is how you say his name, who has brought you some amazing tracks in the previous Persona games as well. And combining the music with the good story points is these awesome anime cutscenes that really hit home on some of the biggest moments in the story, and I can't wait to experience more of that as the story develops and as the ending nears for my own experience. And with this, there's also side quests on top of the main story like a lot of RPGs have, and these side quests I think are pretty good. Some take you obviously to some really curated dungeon experiences with some a little bit harder enemies as well that you can go in and kind of get as much meat out of the bone of the combat experience in this game as you possibly can. This is going to get you more money, more XP, more gear, ranking up in your social status, etc. Now, the last thing I want to touch on quickly obviously here is the progression within this game, because in any RPG, progression is so core to that experience being a fulfilling and rewarding experience. Now in this game, a lot of it relies on gaining XP to increase the archetype levels for your different characters that you're grouping with, and this is basically going to help you unlock different skills and master those archetypes and unlock more power from each of those classes as you go through the game in a pretty standard leveling up process. On top of this, it's the bonds with you and your followers, increasing that bond, increasing that social link, which is going to enable you to unlock different passives with those followers that you're meeting and grouping with throughout the game. There's also the normal gear within the game that you can get for more powerful equipment, etc. And then you get your money, your social status ranking. All of this kind of ties together to have a pretty good core progression loop for Metaphor ReFantazio. Now overall, I definitely just think this is a game that you have to try. It brings a lot of the elements from Persona and really refines it into a good, distinguished experience from those games. If you are a fan of those Persona games, this is a must play. If you are a fan of turn-based RPGs, this game is a must play. And if you are a fan of RPGs in general, I still think you need to give this a try, because it really is so good at getting you immersed into the story and into the different cast of characters that are in this game. So let me know if you guys want to give this game a try. I hope I convinced you a little bit to try out this game. It's borderline, and I think going to be kind of going down as potentially the best game RPG-wise of 2024. So if you guys like this video, please leave a like on the video. Comment down below if you guys have played this game, if you're interested in trying it. Did I sway you to trying it, or maybe not? Or maybe if you aren't enjoying the game, put that down below in the comments as well. I love you guys. Please subscribe if you like the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.